what have you learned in going through building chapters in training your LLM and kind of going on this AI journey? Like, what are the big takeaways? What are failures in that journey, in that process? And is there any kind of, oh, this makes sense. This is something I wish I'd known from the beginning that I could pass on, that's very useful from building AI applications for production use cases?
Well, no different than other companies I've built and run, you are constantly making mistakes. You're constantly learning. And so, that's kind of just your entrepreneurial DNA. Do you have the stomach to and patience to know that there's a high likelihood you're going down the wrong path? Do you have the experience and to know that you're going to you don't want to overinvest, and I have a partner, and he's more on the technology side than I am, and I've had a couple of partners before, and I've just, whether it's my partner or other staff, you just really, really have to be patient during this whole process. Also knowing that we have to move fast, and I know that sounds, talking on both sides of my mouth, but there is a recipe there that,
Like a true entrepreneur.
Yeah, like a true entrepreneur. So, the lessons are, here's a good one. You talk about money and investing. I did a SaaS software at the worst time in the world in 2016, 17, 18, with millions of dollars of VC money and my money. And, we do not need all that team staff anymore. That is just not a reality anymore. So you can accomplish quite a bit with such a lean team. And we are, we're a team of four, and maybe we have a team of 20 or 30, disparate, near shore, offshore, and so forth, and growing. But my business model would have had that team at 100 people, 10 years ago. So I think there's just a lot of excitement. And as far as my advice, you didn't frame it that way, but it's just ferocious reading and following the right people, people that you feel that are not too high, too low about the space, and kind of cerebral about it. I think Ethan Malik and a couple other people that are out there, they just seem to be a little bit more wise than your average person. So, and then the customer, we're like everyone else, you're looking for the X factor. So we have authors that are generally high net worth or really accomplished people. Even so, they're amped to write a book. You're being very vulnerable and transparent. It's like buying a house, or I don't know what it'd be. It's like a big decision, right? And so you're not, by the time they get to our doorstep, most of our leads come from other publishers that the author's stuck or, doesn't want to work with a ghostwriter. They're just focused on the experience of work, of getting this book done. And writing a book, we have to make it, just amazing. It just has to be like, maybe another term is frictionless, and we all strive for that. But when you're working with individuals, which is very different. For a decade or more, I worked with companies and big marketing departments, and it has its own kind of way of operating. This is an individual who's paying a lot of money, and you certainly want to, they don't care about large language models. They don't care about a lot of this stuff. They just want to get through the process. So we have, I'll just say this last thing, we have the AI and the training, and then you have kind of old fashioned workflow, right? Just workflow, getting through that. And so they're both kind of two tech paths we're going down. They connect, they don't connect at times, but you kind of have to watch both of them. So one is very voyeuristic on the AI and very nuanced, matching tone, all that kind of stuff. Making sure it's the author's words, all this training that we do. And then the workflow, he's got it for the editor and everyone. It's just good old fashioned, file management. So it's just like any other companies. It's a lot going on, and but it's like a restaurant, right? The kitchen's really a madhouse, but the front of the house is peaceful.
If you enjoyed that clip, there is much more of that conversation. Make sure to check out the full interview where we get into so much more. And If it was helpful, click the like and subscribe button. If not, no worries. Hopefully, I'll convince you next time. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy wherever you are.